Hello and welcome to the Essence of Knowledge weekly meeting. This meeting is a part of the Essence of Knowledge program, which is a free and online program for the seekers of path of knowledge. In these meetings, I try to answer your questions, clear your doubts, help in your verification and practices. And we also conduct exams. So we'll wait for people to join. Meanwhile, if there are any questions, you are most welcome to write them down. Bhupen is saying, I don't have any questions, but would you kindly say something about vibrations and how they are creating changes? So I'll give you the link to the whole series in a minute. But always remember that they are theory and explanation for the changes that are already appearing. Changes are not created by vibrations. They are explained by it. Just like gravity is not created by the theory of gravity. Theory of gravity explains gravity and the speed of the objects that fall and so on. Same way, vibrations explain what is appearing. I know those who have not studied these things, and they will not know that vibrations are not real. The problem is we should not assume anything before we study it. So I'll give you the link because it is very long. Nothing can be said in 2 or 3 minutes. This theory will explain everything from world, body, mind, and all the laws of the universe. You can say it explains everything. Nothing remains that will not be known using this theory. Never assume that theories are truth. They are words to satisfy the intellect. That's all. Sometimes they are useful to build new technology. So anyhow, this whole theory, which I am calling vibronics, is a part of Tantra Bodhi program. Nurikta is saying, once you said that Tantra Bodhi is so safe that hardly anybody achieves anything, why should anyone join that program? It is for information. Like he asked this question, somebody asked something else. There can be hundreds of questions on illusion. So if you want to know the answers to all these questions, it is a very good program. But you will not achieve the powers and so on. That is not possible. Or you will not experience anything unusual. It is information, like bookish information. But you will not ask any questions again. That much is guaranteed. I can see a lot of confusion among many seekers. Even after knowledge, basic knowledge, essential knowledge is given, they have a lot of questions about illusion. And sometimes they think it is actually true. Whatever we call these bodies, many bodies, and the worlds, and whatever we say about the mind, universal mind, and so on, seekers think that it is all true. So that final ignorance is also removed in Tantra Bodhi. But it is not useful if you want to practically use the knowledge. For that, you need to join some experienced teacher in ashram or get the practices, proper practices, and do those practices practically. I mean, the program cannot give you anything more than information. So those who want the information, those who want answers to their questions, they will like this program. Like this video series, it covers the basics of vibrations and all, which is the foundation of the kind of occult teachings that are presented in Tantra Bodhi. And in other so many books and other videos, I have revealed probably 90% of whatever is present in Tantra Bodhi. So nothing new is given there. Hardly anything new is given in Tantra Bodhi, which is not already said in public. No secrets are given there. No secrets. However, you don't need to search everything everywhere. It is all systematically presented in one program in a lot of detail. That's all. That is the advantage there. Otherwise, it is not actually anything to do with practices. It is a part of our, you can say, extension of the Essence of Knowledge program to answer all the questions on illusion. After knowing surely that it is illusion, after knowing surely that nothing much will be known about the illusion, because the knowledge of the illusion is also illusion. After you confirm these things, this becomes true for you that yes, illusion is useless for a seeker of path of knowledge. Then it is useful to know what it is. A little bit will be known, not everything. The whole illusion cannot be known. Something which is in our direct experience can be explained a little bit. So it is an attempt to explain that much. However, it is completely useless. So far, those who have joined Tantra Bodhi have not done anything with it. They have not even practiced anything. So basics are given there, but some basics are given. The only thing is we should never do any practice without proper setup. By proper setup, I mean spiritual goal, spiritual path, guru, ashram, support, tradition. Because these practices, they are given for information only. There is no support for them. So if something goes wrong, nobody is there to support. And in spiritual practices, if something harmful happens, nobody can fix it. It's not possible to treat it, cure it. The only possibility there is, I have seen practically with my own eyes, is to leave the practice and the body mind after many years becomes normal. Sometimes it will not heal 100%. So that is why nothing is given in the programs, nothing is given in public. However, those who are talented, those who have potential, and those who are brave, they are given some light practices. Little bit of practice will be given. Only after checking whether they can do it or not. Otherwise, it is all kept secret. So some practices are published. I know there are many books that publish all these things. And sometimes somebody gets a result or gets an experience. That's all. No progress happens. No knowledge happens. Probably for some people something must have happened. And that can be explained by guidance of the guru that is not physically present, or some kind of past life practice which is manifesting now. But for ordinary people, nothing usually happens. And for probably 1%, 2% people, some kind of harm happens. Something harmful happens and then they keep recovering. Some people think that it is progress. Something happened to me. It is not progress, because usually they do not have any goal. They do not know the meaning of progress. Whatever you want, you can do actually. Spiritual field has no rules. This will make you progress, this will not make you progress. There is no rule like this. So everybody should try, but never try without proper guidance and a proper system. It has to be systematic. Especially those who are serious about their spiritual progress. Those who are not so serious, they are hobbyist. They keep searching for something or other. They will not progress. That is guaranteed. But they can learn a few things. Yes, new seekers, they keep experimenting and keep learning. There are hundreds of books, especially on occult. Some practices are really difficult and some practices are so easy that you can read and do it. Some are not. So those that are easy, they are published. So why is our program online? Because there are no such practices which will require my continuous presence. There are no practices on the path of knowledge. So that is why it was possible to try it online. Otherwise, it is not possible. Remember that the book cannot replace a teacher. Usually a book is invitation that look, these are the practices. This is how you progress. This is the master. This is our tradition. It is like an introduction, invitation. And then you should properly take up that path. And this will not happen for most of the people. They simply read the book and then next book. Then they read the next book and then some other book, some other path. And that is not called progress. Yes, you will get a lot of information there from these books. They're very informative. Sometimes you will get an experience like she said. But it is not productive. It is good start. In this illusion, everything can happen. And if you try to play with it, if you try to mess with it, the mind and body, something can go wrong. And the Kundalini practice and all these practices, they are very sophisticated and powerful. So if something goes wrong, it is completely uncurable. Only the guru who has given the practice can do something about it, because probably the guru knows what can go wrong. So yes, people have written books and so on. And fortunately, 99% of the time, when people do these practices, when they read it from the book and do it, nothing happens. Except just something small, you see, they will feel this thing here, that thing here, but that is not called progress. So that is fortunate, but sometimes some unfortunately for some person, something powerful happens and then nobody can fix it. Just like I said, the only cure is to stop it, stop doing it and go back to the guru if you really want to progress there. Otherwise, do not touch all these things. Only experts should do it. It will take a long time to prepare the body and the mind for these practices. So never ask what can happen. Everything can happen in spiritual fields. In the illusion, there are no rules. Especially when you are trying to bend it, anything will happen. It is not predictable. That is why we say, do not do it. That is why I wrote that article on arbitrary practices. Because so many cases came to me. Usually I keep talking about these things. And I got tired of answering everybody that do not do it, do not do it. You can do it, but and only under a guru who will prepare you first, who will take you to the formal practice, and who will help to fix any problems. Usually the problem is impurities, impure body mind. That is the problem in most of the practices. So purification is needed. So I wrote that article so that I don't have to teach everybody every time same thing. I'll give you the link. And when I say that I teach only the path of knowledge, nothing else, still people keep asking me, because probably there are videos about these things. I keep talking about these things in old satsangs. So why do they write books? This is the question, isn't it? I think the reason is they want to prevent the loss of knowledge. They know I'm the last in the tradition. They know the tradition is dying. The world is materialistic. I'm not getting any students. No students are progressing. They want just special effects like in movies. They don't want spiritual progress really. So the last attempt to save the tradition, they write it down. And probably enough is written so that some people can practice it. And it has some unusual problems. You can see the equivalent in medical science. Everything is written down. How to treat the disease, what are the symptoms of the disease, which medicine will do what. However, the people who are writing these books, they do not expect the patient to read the books and do the surgery or do the treatment at home. Some treatments can be done at home. There is no doubt about it. But not everything, especially the big ones, cannot be treated at home. You need professional person to guide you, to recommend the medicines. And if the medicines don't work or there are side effects, the person knows what to do. Book does not know all these things. Same about any spiritual practice or occult practice. Book is not a replacement for the actual spiritual work. They are written down, yes. Just like all the medical books, science books are written down. And the real knowledge comes from experience, not from books. It is very good to read the books. It is very bad to do it actually. See, there are some books on lucid dreaming and all that. And these practices are so easy, even children can do it. What are the side effects? Almost none. That much everybody can do, but not Kundalini and all the advanced occult practices. They were also written down. Advanced practices were also written down, and they are encrypted. For example, the Sanskrit old books, very, very old scriptures on tantric practices are there. And the thing is, people interpret them in any way they want. They do it, and the results are sometimes bad, sometimes nothing, or sometimes some kind of spiritual firework. So there is no progress happens like this. Then I'm saying, how must one meditate on Om? On the path of knowledge, there is no meditation, there is no Om. Then I'm saying, I was listening to your video where you have mentioned it needs special practices. Yes, it needs a guru. You need to change your path wherever that meditation is taught. You need to join that tradition, get the initiation from that guru. Then you need to practice it formally for a few months in front of the guru. Then you practice at home. Then meet that guru every year, somehow, something. I don't know what is the goal. What do you want to achieve by meditating on Om? Can you tell me your spiritual goal? What are you trying to achieve? Because why will you meditate if you don't want any result from that? So what results are you expecting from that meditation? And why will somebody do all this long practice, many years, joining the ashram, spending the money, traveling every day 2-3 hours? Why will you do it? Can you tell me? What are the benefits? There is a Upanishad, and there are long videos on my channel about that Upanishad where the Om is described. Probably I was talking about that. It represents 3 states of the mind. So that much is given in Upanishads about Om. But there is no need to meditate. Probably here the word meditate means contemplation on the meaning of this symbol. And it is symbolic. It is not magical. At least on the path of knowledge, there is no magic. So let me know, what do you want? I'll send you to that kind of path where your goal can be fulfilled. From my point of view, it is occult practice. Whenever there is focusing on the body, that is chakras and mantras and visualization, this is all occult practice. The problem is people don't even know the meaning of occult. Especially on the path of knowledge, they don't know anything. That is why Tantra Bodhi was made. It will give you the information. What is occult? What happens there? What are the advantages? And most important part of that program is it will tell you the disadvantages. It will tell you the dangers of it. So nobody knows all these things. They are curious, but they don't want to do the hard work. That is the problem. Can you give me something where I can see something, experience something in 5 minutes? Like this, people approach me. And when I tell them that it is not possible, it is impossible, they go to some other place, they read some other book, they try to do something. I don't want to discourage people, but they don't have any goals. They don't know what it means. They don't want to find out what it means. They don't want the hands-on experience also. They want instant result. Result of what? Kind. Something at least. Give me something. Like some kind of entertainment. Spiritual entertainment, that's all. If you don't know what do you want, best thing to do is meditate on what do you want. What is the mission of your current life? That is called pre-allocation, isn't it? Meditate on what do you want to do in this life. And obviously you will not know most of the time. 90% time people don't know what do they want. They are searching. So you must go to your guru. Ask your guru, I don't know what do I want. I don't know why I was born. And please show me the path. Please give me something. Then it is the job of the guru to give you something. And the problem is, if you don't know what do you want, you will keep doing some kind of random practices, random things. You will get a lot of information. That is also not so bad. When you dabble into these things, spirituality, like young people and young in spirituality and inexperienced people, they keep doing it. They get a lot of information. Sometimes they get experiences. They get to know the guru. They visit some ashrams and meet some other seekers and so on. So that helps in finding their goal. So it is not discouraged. I'll never say stop reading the books, stop meeting the gurus. And that will discourage people. But I always say, at least find out what do you want in this life? What is the goal? So then I think I heard you mentioning, so I was just curious to know. Yes, you see, there is usually no goal. When people hear these things, they are gathering the information. So when she asked, how must one meditate on Om? Probably she has no intention to do it. She just wants information. And nobody will give you the information because it can be misused. What if they start meditating and something goes wrong? So any responsible guru will ask you to join the ashram, join the program or retreat, course, something like this, or meet at least in person, because these are body specific things. If there are problems in the body and the mind, like I said, impurities, the guru will not send you back. The guru will give you another method to fix the problems first. Like I said, preparation will be given. And that article mentions these kind of practices which are different than the actual practice. So Om will not be given. Something which will be given which will make you able to practice that. So if you are in the exploring phase, like you are exploring this practice, that tradition, this path of knowledge, it is good, but do not make a commitment. I want to do only this. No, keep exploring. And once you settle on something, go directly to the best guru that you know. Then do not think about the distance, do not think about time or money, because you have decided that this is my goal. Then there is no question of delaying it. Once you found why you are born for this kind of spiritual work, then there is no question of delaying it. And this should happen in the initial phase of your life. What is the initial phase? When the survival is done. That will be different for different people. Usually it is 35. Age is 35. By that time, 90% of the people, they have solved their worldly issues. But not all. Some can go on till 40, 50, 60. And these people are not suitable for spiritual practice, because these practices that I am mentioning, which require guru and ashrams and all, they will take at least 20, 30 years, even to start initiation. So you should start at early age. That should be your spiritual goal, even if you don't know what path to take. So if you start at the age of 40, you can finish it in this lifetime. Otherwise, there is no real advantage. You can start anytime, but then you will need to continue in the next life. And nobody knows what will be that. What will be the situation there. It is all dicey. It is all random in this world. That is what I am seeing nowadays. And Rikta saying, how can we do that without going to ashram like at home? There are some practices, like I said, lucid dreaming and all. And they can be done at home. You can read it in the book, watch the video. Even I have videos about that. They are given, published, and practice it. And what is the goal, you will ask now? Because you heard me saying that don't do it without a goal. The goal here is to know how the mind creates the illusion. Very simple goal. And there is no harm because the mind is creating the illusion right now also. So nothing unusual is happening. So these kind of practices, which can be done at home, are usually published in books. They are all over the internet. Everywhere you will find the techniques. However, and there are practices where you will need to join the ashram. There is no method which will work. Rikta Singh, higher consciousness can be achieved. No, higher consciousness is never achieved at home. No, without going to ashrams, nothing will be achieved. Specifically in these kind of paths. occult path. Even the lucid dreaming comes under occult. If anybody is interested, what are these paths? What is spiritual practice? What is spirituality? They should watch the series of videos on knowledge sutras on my channel. Basics. There you will come to know what can be done at home. Like devotion and all, you can sit down and do at home, but nothing will be achieved probably for many lifetimes. Bhupen is saying, is it so that going through POK dedicatedly for a long time and removing ignorance out of us, we can achieve the experiencing state? No. And the path of knowledge is not long time path. There is no path actually. There is nothing to achieve. Experiencing is right now, right here. Your current state is of experiencing. You can only remove the ignorance that it is something else right now. Your ignorance is believing, blind belief that it is not experiencing. I am not in that state, non-dual state right now. So that must be your ignorance. You can remove it in one day. If this is your path, if path of knowledge is your life goal, you will be able to see it clearly that the current state is experiencing only. So on the path of knowledge, no practices, nothing is achieved. There is no time. It does not take time. Self-realization is instant. You become what you are. You do not achieve anything. You remove whatever is hiding what you are. See what is hiding this state of experiencing. Can you tell me what is hiding the state of experiencing for you right now? Bhupen is saying sense of the world. Is world not you? Is world different from you? Objects, people. Are you separate? The world is separate. That is also you. I mean, are you simply repeating or you know it? Have you found the evidence? Yes, then what is the state? Non-dual experiencing or separation? I say there are no two, and at that moment you know there are no two. It does not take time because it is already like this. And then when I say current state is experiencing, you know current state is experiencing. It is very powerful path, isn't it? Instant results. Sitting at home, you become the whole world. Still people are searching for garbage in the garbage bin of spirituality when you have the diamonds in front of you. When you ask your question, see what ignorance is causing it. What is the current evidence or what is the truth? Probably the evidence thing is difficult for you. What is the truth and what are your assumptions? So it is only the past conditioning. Drop the past, only then you will progress. Only then all this confusion will be gone. It is possible to drop the old ignorance. When the question comes, you should ask, what is the truth? And what is my old conditioning, my old ignorance telling me? Your old ignorance is telling you that you need to practice for a long time and so on. Probably you walked on some kind of path where it takes a long time to achieve something. Goal there is to achieve some state, some particular state, like yogic states. Or probably you heard it somewhere and believed it blindly. Then you are applying all those ideas on path of knowledge. It will not work like this. Path of knowledge is totally different. It is the most powerful and most advanced. That is why we say it is the direct path. There is nothing to achieve because you are everything. There are no states because all states are illusory. Why do you want to achieve something illusory? And why do you want to achieve something imaginary, like not experiencing anything? There is nothing like this. It is imagination. So anyhow, I am not saying that you should force it like this. Probably it is not your path. Probably you should go in some path where there is no experience or you can achieve something, some state, whatever you want. If in 1 week you forget all the knowledge, then it is not your path. That's all I can see from here. But you should finish the program, and then after finishing the program, you decide now what states you want, what kind of unusual state of mind you are looking for, what else you want. Like I said, everybody should start with a goal. Probably you don't have a goal right now. So you are trying to explore this state and that state and this kind of practice and that kind of practice. So continue your exploration. Those who surely know that path of knowledge is not my path, they can drop out completely because it will waste your time otherwise. Once you find that, okay, this guru gives me what I want, this path gives me what I want, simply join there. There is no point in shopping for hardware in a dairy shop, isn't it? If you want hardware, you go to hardware shop. If you want food and milk, you go to the dairy. What is happening is you come to dairy and you are asking for hardware. That is what is happening here. So it is my duty to guide you properly, you see. It is not my job to force people on path of knowledge. This cannot be done, isn't it? If your life goal is not path of knowledge, this will happen. So after becoming Brahman, after achieving non-dual states, after knowing that I am complete bliss, what people want, something tiny, some Om meditation or something else. I'm not saying that is bad. That shows that they are in a wrong path. That's what it shows. The satisfaction has not happened. And the question now is, will it happen after a long time? Say, let us say after 1 year, 10 years. And my experience is no. You know who you are right now. There is no other time. There is only present time. There is no future on path of knowledge. Nothing will happen after a long time. Same state of confusion and what I want will remain. Because the satisfaction happens instantly. I wanted to know who am I. I joined Path of Knowledge. I did this program. I got the answer. It is in front of me. Clear. Absolutely clear. Done. That is how this path is. Oh, this is not happening. That is not happening. When will I know something else? XYZ. That means you joined the wrong path. So everybody should think about these things. What is my life goal? Which path is best for me? Where will I get my life goal? Whom should I ask? Should I go to the hardware shop or to the grocery shop or to the vegetable shop? That much should be clear. So these are basics of spirituality, you see. What should I do at home? Which practices cannot be done at home? So on. It will take at least 10 years, 15 years to search your path, your goal. If you fail, yes, immediately switch to another guru, another path. So usually I come to know whose path is what. I can talk to them for 5 minutes. I come to know what is their path. But still we encourage them to know the basics of path of knowledge. It is not harmful, isn't it? You know who you are Brahman, you are the whole existence. It is not harmful for you. You know that you are already non-dual state. No harm can be caused by this. So I try to get the diagnosis or our Essence of Knowledge program done for everybody. However, it is your duty to progress forward. If the satisfaction is not there in this path, that means you are not ready for these things right now. And you should go there where you get your life goal. How will you know what is my life goal? Yes, only the guru will tell you. Mostly you cannot. We are trying these things. There is a tool called pre-allocation on gyanmarg.guru. You can try that. You will find for what you are born in that, using that tool. Sometimes you can find it like this. And there is another tool, the Pathfinder. You will find your path there. Not guaranteed, but you can try. And once you are sure that yes, something else is needed instead of simply the intellectual knowledge of the path of knowledge, although it is not intellectual, it is very direct, it is your direct experience. But you need something more spicy, flowery, and then you should immediately join that kind of path. It is not harmful to walk on the path of knowledge, although if you do not explore more, you will waste your time, especially if it is not your path. Those who are made for path of knowledge, they get the knowledge immediately, instantly, and they do not seek anything more. That was their life goal. Usually these people, they start teaching. That's what I've seen. Knowledge Sutras, series of videos. And the written version is also there on the Wise Words. Knowledge Sutra written version is also there. Highly recommended. And do not go and read books and start practicing today. You need to plan it, especially if you are a serious seeker. So there is no problem if this is not your path and you want to achieve something else, no problem. It is a good start. Path of knowledge is a good place to start. Actually, everything ends here. But yes, if you want something more, then it is like a launch pad. You can take off from here. So anyhow, I hope everybody will think about these things. And if you have any questions regarding these topics, you can write them down. Ask me in the next meeting. I'll see you next time. Thank you everybody for joining today's meeting. Namaste.